Hello, YouTube. This is Keith Kevin Ken. How you doing? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. It's time again for another knife of the day. This is the series where I go through my collection one knife at a time, one day at a time. There's over 230 knives, videos on the playlist, so go check it out. We started with my entire Spyderco collection. Over 230 knives, a lot more than 230. We've moved on to a combination of collections. The Chris Reeve collection, the Browse Blade collection, and the Microtech automatic out the front collection. We're going to do those all together. The Chris Reeve collection is where I'm digging into this morning. The knife of the day is the Chris Reeve Sebenza 25, the plain Jane version. All of the Sebenza 25s have been discontinued. Chris Reeve has come out with the Inkosi, the large Inkosi and the small Inkosi. The large Inkosi looks exactly like this, the Sebenza 25. There are a number of differences. The pivot is bigger. There are also the washers are bigger inside. I always say that if you have a Sebenza 25 as we do, and you put it connected or put it side by side with a large Inkosi, they would look exactly the same from the outside. If you turn it over, the quick way of knowing the difference is the clip would be angled off of the lock bar. So if someone says, this is an Inkosi, flip it over. The clip off of the lock bar, that's the Inkosi. The Sebenza 25, we already talked about the classic Sebenza that I have on the playlist. That's my oldest knife. After the classic Sebenza, on the 21st anniversary of the introduction of the Sebenza, Chris Reeve introduced the Sebenza 21. On the 25th anniversary, he introduced the Sebenza 25, and this is the Sebenza 25. There are a number of differences. The one thing that he did when he introduced the 25 is something he did not do when he introduced the Inkosi. You know, he didn't keep the Sebenza 25 going. He kept the Sebenza 21 going. The Sebenza 21 is still going. You can pick up a new one. It has not been discontinued. Now, I have to admit, though, he did the same thing that he did before when he improved the Sebenza. He had the new improvement. He got rid of the older knife. There's a couple of big changes. All of the Sebenza 25s and the Inkosis on the blade has this hump. You see that? Compared to the 21. You see the notch right there on the spine of the blade right after the jimping, not on the 21. And really the first thing that'll pop out to you is the forward choils. On the Sebenza 21 here, one forward choil that makes it easy to get to the Chris Reeve frame lock. Right? On the 25, it's two forward choils. That's the big thing. The big difference is the two forward choils on the 25. The blade, well, Chris Reeve loves to be consistent. And I think that's one of the reasons the construction is so great. The tolerances are so tight. It's such a wonderful, well-manufactured knife. There's not a lot of variety where Spyderco has hundreds of knives, different shapes, different blades, etc. Chris Reeve has, I don't know what, 5 different knives. You will be seeing a lot of variations on the 21, the 25, the Umnumzun. I'm going to compare this with the big knives from Chris Reeve, which would include, besides the Umnumzun, the 21, the tie lock. And then we'll talk about their smaller knives as well. There are close to 60 Chris Reeve knives in the collection, so we'll get a lot of variety going as we go through that collection. But let's talk about the 25. Stonewash blade, of course, as I told you, my knives are more of the modern Chris Reeve collection. This has stonewash, hollow ground clip point blade, S35VN steel, CPM S35VN steel. Chris Reeve loves Crucible. He worked with Crucible to develop S30V and then S35VN. As I told you with this, you see the hump, the characteristic hump. This happens to have 2 thumb studs on it. The blade is 3.6 inches. 3.6 inches. The total knife is 8.4 inches total size, and it weighs 5.2 ounces. I mean, it's full titanium scales, a big blade, nice thickness. This thing can handle anything. People ask me, do I like the 25 or the 21? Honestly, I'm an older guy. I like the classic 21. They're both great knives. I just think I like it because it's the classic, you know? But I am really loving the Sebenza 25. I have a video, my top 5 Chris Reeve knives, on the playlist. Go check that out. The scales. What Chris Reeve does, again, it's all S35V, or there are Damascus blades, a lot of Damascus blades from Chris Reeve. This is the plain Jane version. That means full tie versions without all the flourishes. By the time we're at the end of this collection, you'll see a lot of flourishes from the Chris Reeve knives. Of course, you have the 2 forward choils. All Chris Reeve knives, the main ones, or the bigger ones, come with a lanyard, see-through construction, which is great. Pretty much 2 screws does it all. See that? He sends you a screwdriver and the oil. The clip on the 25 is like the 21. It's parallel to the Chris Reeve frame lock. Oh man, I've had these knives for a long time. They're just really put together nice. Very little travel, smooth as silk, opening or closing. It's right hand clip, tip up only. Now for the left hand, he does, or they did sell Sebenza 25s, left-handed Sebenza 25. By the way, the recent changeover to the Nkosi, you can find new Sebenza 25s all over the place. Dealers still have them, still stocked up. But with Chris Reeve, he doesn't give you 4-way clips or 2-way clips. You got a left-handed version or a right-handed version. That, my friends, is the plain Jane Sebenza 25. Again, they are discontinued. So if you go to the Chris Reeve website, you won't find a Sebenza 25. But the Nkosi, very, very, very much like a 25 with some differences. There's the Umnumzun. I figured I'd give you first a look at the big knives coming out of Chris Reeve, and also give you some comparisons. Of course, that's the 21, a blinged out 21. And here is the tie lock version, where Chris Reeve decided there's actually 4 different versions of the tie lock. There are so many different versions of the 25 and the 21, and you'll get a chance to see them. And there are a couple of versions of the Zone as well, and that's one of them right there. There you have it. If you're enjoying this series, Monday through Friday, we go through my collection, one knife at a time, one day at a time. When we get brand new Spydercos, we'll drop in, and that'll be the knife of the day all through next year. There are some special, really special Spydercos coming out. Check out my 2018 Spyderco guide video that I just put up about a week or so ago. Hey, you guys, it's a pleasure. Monday through Friday, right before I run off to work late. I always say that because it's true. I do a video and upload it to YouTube. Take good care of yourselves. Keep warm. Whew, it's getting cold out there. And keep your pockets full. Goodbye.